Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. So great, there you go. That's pretty much the end of that analysis here. And really, what Polygon is designed to do from this point is to go through our image quantification, really based on those early Slaker 16 methods. So I've detected all of my cells in a way that I feel is accurate. And lastly, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to approve these ROIs, which kind of goes through and stamps those into records. So we've now saved these ROIs and the quantification of them. And it gives me a nice little check mark over here on the image that I've finished analyzing. So that's a good way to keep track of what you've gone through and analyzed. And so this is taking just a second because of my bandwidth. But once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to export my results. And what that's going to give me is, that's going to give me a chance to go through and see exactly what we've done here. So I'm just going to put this in my downloads, and voila, we've got our results. So I've opened my comma separated value file here in Excel. This is how I like to see CSV files. Definitely open these in any sort of spreadsheet software that you're using. But a lot of information here. Right off the top, in our first column, we're seeing every cell that I detected in this image, and I'm getting sort of an ID number for each one of those cells that tells me a little bit about it. The first part of the ID number tells me the model that I used to detect those cells. It tells me the shape that I used to detect those cells. If I had hand drawn any of those here, it would be telling me a little bit about that as well. And then from there, there are a whole lot of different metrics that come out of this. We have some really good explanations of that in the how-to documentation. So this is probably something that you can go back through and check out on your own time. But the one that I like to point out here, because this is what we tended to publish in the SORG lab, is our intensity scores. And so what I have here is both a mean background for my image and then the intensity. And what I like to do is take the mean minus the background score, which in our lab we interpreted it as signal, and report that. And so what I'm seeing here is this is now the quantification of the intensity of that fluorescence. So going back to that question, I think this might be what you're looking for. This is a fantastic way to quantify intensity. You can also look at integrated density, and this is maybe a little bit more of a relative metric of how large that ROI is. So things to take a look at on your own time. Again, check out the how-to documentation. But as a rule of thumb, everything that you're seeing in here in terms of quantification is something that you're probably familiar with seeing in ImageJ. We're using a lot of those exact same techniques, a lot of that exact same math. So what you should see is that these quantifications are what you would expect from that type of analysis.